What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the WARFRAME video. So we've been talking about the new Arcanes in the last few videos, and today we're talking how to farm these new Arcanes. We got the best Arcane farm on the new Whispers in the Wall tile set, and yeah, you'll be getting Arcanes in about 2.5 minutes, or quicker, with this method. And I'm also going to give you a live run through on how to get these Arcanes and how you can basically just learn how to do this really easily. Before we get into it though and go over this Arcane farm as well as my Garuda build and my Kuva Bramma build that I use in the new tile set, make sure you're subbed to this channel. We do daily WARFRAME video uploads, and also hit that like button too so more people can see this video. I really appreciate all the support recently, guys. I probably sound a little bit tired. I've been streaming a lot, and I'll also be streaming again soon, and I'll be doing the last Netra Cell. Let's start off with the first place to get these new legendary Arcanes. Yes, Netra Cells, the new weekly missions, are the only way to get these new legendary Arcanes. In my previous video about Melee Crescendo, I said that you could get them from this book monster thing we're talking about farming today. Unfortunately, I was incorrect. The official drop tables have been updated as of today, and the book monster that we're farming in this video, the Mocking or Scathing Whisper, yeah, that does not drop Memento or Melee Duplicate, unfortunately. It will drop every other Arcane, so like Melee Animosity, Melee Vortex, etc., etc. Those will drop from this thing. The super amazing rare ones will be extremely rare for a long time. Let's hope that Gargoyle's Cry, the new clan event, has those Arcanes. But yes, so as far as the strategy for today's video, we're going to be doing, if you've ever done a Zeramon Void Angel farm, you basically just run through the mission, find this special mini-boss, and once you find this special mini-boss, you kill the special mini-boss, and it will drop an Arcane. That's pretty much what we're doing here. This is pretty much just Zeramon 2.0. This new thing, the Murmuring, this Scathing Whisper, is a mini-boss that you go and find in the mission. And as far as I can tell, yes, it truly is a guaranteed spawn in these missions, guys. You might not think it is, but there's some kind of hard-to-find spots, spawn locations-wise. And I'm going to tell you a big tip on finding these spawn locations is waiting for a special bounty that marks the Scathing Whisper in the map. There's a hidden book that contains this Scathing Whisper enemy. If you find that floating book, that's what causes this Arcane to drop. So think of it like that. An Exterminate mission is a great way to farm it as you run through the whole thing, killing enemies constantly. If you know these spawn spots, you'll be able to check those spawn spots while you're running through. And what Arcanes drop from here, it's going to be those melee Arcanes besides the legendary ones, like I said. And we're also blowing up a ton of enemies. We're trying to, since it's Exterminate, we have to kill enemies as fast as possible. Kuva Bramma with a corrosive build. You know, you can do Kuva Tonkor, Kuva Czar, etc., etc. Just big AoE stuff. That's what you're looking to do here. And you want to mod for these new Murmur enemy faction. They are weak to... I'm going to show you what they're weak to in this video, okay? We have a special Bramma build made for this enemy faction. And the thing is, as well, is they are weak to two different types of things. They have a good variety of enemy soldiers. There's enemies that are weak to radiation and enemies that are weak to corrosive. So our build for the Bramma actually covers both of those bases. So enough about running through the Exterminate. We'll do a live run through here. Let's go ahead and show some of this stuff build-wise in the ship. Now, as far as what we're going for I'm going to show the entire build loadout, and we're going to show it in a mission, too. This Garuda build is good for Netra Cells, the weeklies, because they're meant to be super difficult, but this is also usable here, too. We're going for super speed Garuda. The Tau Shards we're using here are quite important. You will be a lot slower than me, movement-wise, if you don't use these. So we've got 3 parkour velocity shards for Tau, so that's a total of like 66%. Increased parkour velocity, so we move a lot fast, we jump a lot fast, we bullet jump really far too. We got 2 casting speed Tau Shards, making we can cast our abilities really fast. You could even go crazier with the parkour velocity, put those here too, but I'm not going to do that. Our helmet ability is Tharo Strike from Styanax, that removes enemy armor and shields. Also gives you a pretty decent heal. As far as the build we're running, we have Brief Respite to give shields whenever we cast our abilities. So for example, on our 4th ability, we get a lot of shields from that because it's got 100 energy cost. And with Garuda's abilities, you get energy for sacrificing your health. And then we can cast our Tharo Strike ability to heal us back up, or just anything else to really heal us back up with the Molt Reconstruct Arcane. Heals yourself and allies when you cast an ability, depending on how much energy you spent to cast it. That works really well with Garuda. But yeah, the rest of the build, Prime Sure-Footed, we are using the Bramma to spam AoE everywhere. I'm going to show you if you don't have Prime Sure-Footed, I'm going to show you a new method as of this update to avoid self knockdowns. But yeah, I prefer that if you had this, of course, because you want to do the method I'm going to show you. But this makes it so you don't get knocked over by your Bramma. As far as the rest of the mods, we have 2 range mods to make it where our Tharo strike reaches further. It also makes it where our Dread Mirror, we can jump an enemy from 52 meters away. Very nice for long range jumping. We got Prime Flow for a ton of energy pool. Adaptation to be tanky just from like not having to do anything. And then also Rolling Guard to get rid of status procs. Keep in mind, Bloodletting does also get remove status procs, but this will also give you... It's just so much great health. You can also remove status procs while in your 4 with Rolling Guard. Another nice little synergy. As far as our Arcanes, I already told you about Molt Reconstruct. Molt Augmented is nice here. If you're using the Tome mods I'm using, you don't actually need this. So you can go for even more movement speed with Arcane Agility, giving you increased parkour velocity by 60% when damaged. Pretty decent. Our Bramma is a Toxin Bramma. You can use a Radiation Bramma too, but for the purposes of this video, we are using a Toxin Bramma in this footage. The build is going to be Corrosive and Radiation. How do you do that without a Radiation Bramma? It comes down to this new mod called Radiated Reload. Plus 60% radiation damage, plus 40% reload speed. It is a 2 elemental mod. It's basically heat and electric put together to become radiation. You can't normally do that. It's usually going to require 2 mod slots. But yeah, we got radiation here, and then we got corrosive from the toxin of the built-in on the Bramma. With this electric mod, makes it corrosive and radiation. Good for all the damage types that we're going to need here. We've got Prime Firestorm for increased AoE size to blow up more enemies in each shot. We've got Vital Sense for crit damage, and we've got Point Strike for crit chance. The other crit chance mod is going to be giving you minus fire rate, but look at that. Negative fire rate by 20%, 2 times for bows. That's terrible on bows, gives you a lot of negative fire rate, unfortunately. Amalgam Serration gives you more movement speed. We're going for a lot of movement speed here. And we also have multi-shot from Galvanized Chamber, giving us a ton of multi-shot, and Vigilance Supplies, giving us ammo mutation. Makes the ammo in the Bramma not a problem at all, unless you really are spamming it, and also gives you increased crits too. If you don't have a God Roll Bramma Riven, just put Vigilante Armaments in that slot, and it's going to be very simple. You're actually going to have more multi-shot than me in some ways, but you're going to be missing out some crits. I have 47% multi-shot here, this is 60% multi-shot. And Merciless is still the best. For the Grimoire, it's going to be a build for Garuda specifically. I've got some Augur mods. I've got Conjunction Voltage for some more multi-shot to build up the meter faster. We'll be doing lots of electric procs, so they'll be constantly active. Volum Invocation, hitting enemy with the alt fire gives me power strength, and the rest of the stuff is just utility mods. Faster dodge speed with Amalgam Barrel Diffusion. And for movement speed even more, we've got the Praedos, increasing the sprint speed and the slide with Drifting Grace, and Evolved Ascension, giving us parkour velocity as well. For the mods, we have a corrosive anti-Acolyte build, even though hardly you see Acolytes here. And we've got the new Melee Arcanes. The Melee Arcanes you'll farm from here. That's one of the ones we're running here. We've got Melee Exposure on ability cast, get increased corrosive damage on melee strikes for 25 seconds. We cast so many abilities as Garuda, it's great. It's going to be a ton of extra damage. And for our Excellence mod, we've got Dispatch Override. On heavy attack hit, increased movement speed for 15 seconds. Great here to make it where we can just move through the mission really quickly. And as far as the rest, we got Madarai for increased power strength, and we've got the... Well, I actually didn't even care about what command I had equipped. I have the Adarza equipped for increased critical chance, 60% increased critical chance for our Bramma. Let's get into the mission and show you how you can farm these guys. So I'm going to highly recommend that you go to Lloyd. So let's show, if you were to want to go farm these right now, how would you go about this? I would say you should first go to the Sanctum Anatomica, and why should you do that? You should go check, actually his name is Fibonacci, you should go check the fish dude, the Norg, what the bounty is. If the bounty says, go and find the Shattered Whisper, or whatever it's called, that is what you want, because that will be the one where it marks it for you every time. If you don't have the bounty where it's marked for you, prepare to remember where these spawn spots are and potentially miss one, because it's not going to be marked for you, and it's a kind of hard to see book. So what we're looking for here, we're looking for a bounty that says, not Wrecking Crew. So we're looking for an Exterminate. This one could probably work, technically. Destroy 60 decorations. But we're looking for one that's an Exterminate, and it also says, destroy the Shattered Whisper. So unfortunately, we did not get that, so we're going to go do it the good old-fashioned way, just a normal star chart version. The Whisper does seem to have a 50% drop rate, and I do have a mod drop chance booster. Arcanes do count as mod drops in this game, so I do have a 100% drop rate. If you don't have a mod drop booster, it might be RNG. So unfortunately, I can't give you that information the best of my ability, as I have a mod booster active and unable to turn it off. So yeah, if it is making this guaranteed when it's not supposed to, I would recommend doing the Steel Path. If not, don't do it Steel Path. So the hunt has began. We've loaded into the Exterminate mission. We're checking for specific spawn locations. So both of those rooms I just jumped into there, those cannot have the book spawn. Additionally, you can be firing your Bramma on these enemies. The robot, like the actual like mechs, they are weak to corrosive, and like the enemies are like gigantic arms that are moving around, they are weak to radiation. That's kind of the easy way to think about it. If it looks like a mech, it's weak to corrosive. If it looks like a void monster, it's weak to radiation. That's why our radiation corrosive build hits both of those element types very well. So now, as far as this room having any spawns, I don't think I've memorized them in this room, so let's hope that I didn't miss it. But again, here's a spawn location right here. It can spawn right where my character's standing. And I know this is kind of a impromptu way of trying to show you how this works, guys, but it is really just going to come with a lot of practice and running these bounties. Look for that bounty where it says it will mark it on the map for you. You will have a much easier time. In the meantime, just maybe do it in a squad. Have your squad mates help you look for it. Once you find it, it's pretty easy to kill. All you need to do is just blast it down. I'd recommend AoE Bramma stuff, and look at that. We did find the spell book. When you are within like 15-20 meters, Togfur, like the goat cat thing, will give you a voice line. So be aware of that. It will not happen unless you are like right near. So as you saw, like I was over here, no voice line. When I entered the room that the book is in, then I got the voice line, and this is actually one of the more easier to find spots. So as you can also see, I had to go off the beaten path to get this. This is not like the direct path to the end of the mission. This is not as easy as what able to find, guys. So I'd highly recommend waiting for that bounty. But in the meantime, let's start this fight. I'll show you how this works. So we start the fight, and it slowly becomes a clone of your Warframe. The health type of this enemy is Tenno Flesh, which has neutral modifiers for all damage types. So don't worry about modding for corrosive radiation for them. Just hit them with your Garuda 4 and then give them 2 Bramma shots, maybe even 1 if your stacks are fully stacked up. Once you've blown up the first DPS phase, go to the yellow waypoint to kill the second DPS phase. And when you get there, just blow up the book before it can even do anything. If you don't kill that book fast enough, it will go back to its initial body, and you want to kill it again. And it does not really seem to do anything else besides that, besides just healing up and requiring a second DPS phase. If you want to speedrun it, definitely kill the book as quickly as possible. And there you go. As you can see, I got an Arcane, or rather, I got an unidentified item that is an Arcane. Like I said, it is probably because I have a mod booster. 50% drop rate without a mod booster, and I'm assuming 100% drop rate with the mod booster. Also, that being said, I've been talking to a lot of players that have said that they have not had it drop even with a mod booster as well on the Steel Path. So, and also after some extensive testing, I do not think that Necros, Prime, Chessa, Kubrau, Hydroid abilities, or I don't know if we didn't try Ivara and didn't try Atlas, but Necros Prime, Hydroid Prime, and Chessa do not seem to work on the drops of those Arcanes there. So, unfortunately, maybe Smita Kavat could work, but it's not a resource that should not work. So, yeah, after you get the Arcane, you just need to clear the mission as normal. So the Bramma ammo is getting a little bit low. If you do run out of Bramma ammo, feel free to bring an ammo pad along with you to get some extra ammo back. Now, why is Garuda so good here? Garuda's 4th ability makes enemies vulnerable to slash procs. Her 1st ability can do not percent health damage, but it grabs the enemy, takes a percentage of their health, and makes that into a damage nuke, pretty much. And when affected by her 4th ability, that damage will become a slash proc. So, take a chunk of their health, turn that chunk of health into a slash proc. It can hit enemies with, whatever their health is scaled to by the devs. They pick a 400,000 damage number for their health. You grab it for 100,000, and then you increase that to 400,000 with a slash proc. They're dead, and here comes our Arcane. It's as easy as that, guys. I got a rare melee animosity Arcane. You're going to probably want stuff like this going forward. 4 minutes while explaining everything and waiting around. So, hope you guys have found this video fun and helpful. Yeah, as far as Netra cells, like I said, the place you get that really legendary Arcane from yesterday, Melee Crescendo. This build works great. I didn't have to use any armor strip there. But yeah, you can armor strip those enemies with Tharo Strike, and to do those Netra cells, you go over and talk to this guy. All the meta frames are good for this. The reason that Garuda is so good for this is because a lot of the debuffs you get here are status proc dependent. We can remove status procs very easily. We can kill the enemy levels don't matter to us. I will probably have a Netra cell video at some point, but just yeah, she's really good for these. So is Revenant. So is some other frames. All the meta stuff is good for this. So. Hope you guys found this video fun, helpful. Go out and farm those Arcanes. The bounty is very good. Our fastest run in a full squad was 2 minutes, 2 seconds, with the entire bounty completed and an Arcane out of that. So, You're going to want to grab those if you want those new melee arcanes. Some of the best ones are the corrosive one, and melee. They all sound kind of fun, especially too the armor one actually can stack up to multiple times. Even the ones that sound kind of underwhelming, guys, maybe give them a chance before you immediately throw them away, because they might be more exciting than you're actually thinking. This one right here, the armor one, on melee kill 175 armor, this stacks up. So you can get 10 stacks of this and get 2,000 armor. And a reminder, this is on your melee. This is not on your actual frame. So 2,000 extra armor if you're going a melee rampage. So update's really fun and good. Hope you guys have been enjoying it just as much as I have, and I'll see you with another video. So Barrow should have a new Prime mod very soon. If he does, I'll have a video on it, and of course I'll have some other videos too on the new update. Alright guys, see you next time. Take it easy, and peace.